And here we are. Oh, we're back. Here we go. Another episode of the Vacuous Perspective. Hello, Nate. How's things?
Yeah, not bad, Val. How are you?
Yeah, getting it done, you know.
I have a public service announcement.
Oh, go on.
Just got a message from the WA Police Force.
Yep.
They're searching for a missing person in the Fremantle area.
Okay.
They thought I might be able to help the search, so they reached out to me personally.
Yes, okay.
Jacob Witchman.
Okay.
74-year-old male, 170 centimetres, grey hair. Last seen wearing grey track pants, grey hoodie, possibly a blue mask. He's on the loose, and they want him found.
Okay, well, thanks very much for the PSA. You know, Seinfeld's got a bit where he talks about the wanted posters. He says, let the postman carry it. He's out there all the time. Let them look for the wanted people.
The postman.
Yeah, I think it's like, and the other gag is he says, why didn't they just hang on to this guy when they were taking his picture?
Oh, yeah, so in the wanted photo. Well, I haven't circulated a wanted photo of this man.
No, they haven't. This is all text-based. Oh, because through the text message. You got a direct text message.
Yeah. He may be confused.
Okay. So we're looking out for a confused person, North Fremantle.
Blue mask. Yeah, so I thought I'd get that out there. If we release the episode, imminently, we really might be able to amplify the reach of the WA Police Force.
Excellent. And that's just us doing our bit.
To our 15 viewers.
Here we go.
Subscribers.
15 subscribers. Yeah.
Yeah, so still one more than episodes that we have.
Yeah, so that goal, I guess, we'd already kicked it before the episode got released, but it's an ongoing thing now, I guess. We're a couple of episodes ahead. We've got a bit of breathing room.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we are a couple of episodes ahead. They don't need to know that, though. So if you see anything, I think it's 131 444. Get in touch. Ask for Nate.
Would say Nate told you to get in touch.
Yeah. They do wonders for our viewers. Yeah, so that's a thing.
It's good. I went down south on the weekend, just see the olds.
Yeah?
Hang out with the dogs. Watch the football.
JK's last game?
JK's last game, yep. That was the thing, wasn't it?
That was great.
He kicked 8, right?
He put on a show, yeah.
So people were saying, well, not people, but people in my family were saying, you're going out, last game, you kick 8. So, what are you doing? Essentially, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, look, the thing about that, in my view, I think these good older players can put it on for one game. I think they can get up for one game. I don't think they can do it consistently. Yeah,
okay. So how old is he? 32 or something?
I think he's 34, 33, 34.
34, something like that. Okay, so he's 34 years old. He's saying, I can't do another season, or I don't want to.
Yeah, I think it's hard for him to get up. The body doesn't recover as well.
Yeah, and he did sort of say in his post-game interview that the boys were feeding him. They wanted him to kick a lot of goals. He wanted to kick a lot of goals. He kicked 8. He could have kicked 9.
He should have kicked 9. Yeah, they were. Yeah, I wanted 10 goals for the win. They're down by 11 points.
Yeah, and
3 minutes left.
Yeah, that would have been a nice finish, right?
Oh. Yeah, and you're right. They were feeding him, right? But if they're feeding him and he's kicking goals, that should be the new game plan.
Yeah, isn't that the old game plan?
No, they kick it to Darling too much.
No, but wasn't that the old game plan?
No, they share it
the
around.
80s and 90s I'm talking about.
Oh.
The old game plan.
Yeah, the plugger. The plugger game plan.
Rocket in the goal square. Just plonk him there.
Get him to lead out, full-chested.
Yep. Okay, name another one. Wayne Carey.
He was a little bit different. He was centre-half forward though, and he did the opposite. He did the Pagans paddock. He starts up on the wing, nobody in the forward line, and then he pushes back into the space.
What about late in his career? Did he become a full forward?
He was always a centre forward.
Wow.
He's the centre forward of the century.
And why is every highlight in my head just him taking a mark in the forward 50?
He took a lot of marks running backwards with the flight. That was his.
Oh, that's wheelhouse.
His wheelhouse, yeah, his signature move.
Well, they're the scariest people, the guys that can just run full clip.
With no fear, right? Mm-hmm. They're the ones you got to be fearful of.
Yeah, your Bo Waters. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know if he's missing brain cells.
Right.
Or whether he's just so smart that he can override his sense of
okay, I don't know what he's
self-preservation.
Self-preservation, yes. Is he countering sort of thousands of years of evolution every time he goes back to with the flight of the ball?
Or is he just ignorant of it?
I think
he's not.
That the mentality is that the game in the moment is more important than anything that could happen. Broken leg, broken face.
Well, they want him to think that. You got to brainwash a player into it.
Yeah, you do. You get them young.
You get them young. You tell them that this is the most important game of their life.
Yeah, and the day that you fall into the mud and cop a knee in the back of the head and you're just out there as a, 8 or 9 year old, promising young footballer, they go, now's the time. Grab him, tell him, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want to see, Tell him, no crying. Get out there, What was that quote that Dermot got said when he punctured his lung or whatever, broke his ribs, 85 grand final? What did the doctor say to him again? You mentioned it before.
89 grand final.
89, okay.
He was pissing blood.
Yes.
At half time.
Yeah.
And he said, drink some water.
Yeah.
And don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. Oh God! Oh, that's the best medical advice I've ever heard. I mean, I know I got you to repeat something, but my God, that just blows my mind. It's like
that is not medical advice.
What's the symptoms? Okay, so I'm pissing blood. Right, I've got. Just so happens I know what to do about this. Here, have some water, and jog it off. Essentially.
Do you know what happened last time I was pissing blood?
No, I do not know.
The only time I've been pissing blood.
That must have been scary.
I had a maths exam. It was the morning of, and I played footy on the weekend.
Yeah.
Copped a knock in the kidneys.
Yeah.
It was brutal. I didn't play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I assume it was the next morning. I don't think it can be that delayed. But I was fine.
I get what you did. You probably drank some water and didn't tell anybody.
Well, that wasn't my mum's advice. I was supposed to get up with his maths. I just said to my mum, I was like, "Oh, mum, this hit must have been harder than I thought." I was, I've got red piss. It looked like red cordial. It wasn't like thick blood. It was like red cordial. It was quite dark. And mum said, "Don't worry about your maths exam. We're going to hospital."
Okay, great.
And I'd done a bit of study for this maths exam, so I was actually a little bit upset.
You were primed.
I was primed. I didn't want to study again. I had crammed the information in there for that 3-hour period that I needed it for. I was ready to let loose and then forget it. So I guess different people, different medical advice.
No, but you went to the hospital, got it all sorted somehow, drank water, didn't tell anybody. And then what? The maths exam, you probably had, like, in the end, as an adult thinking back on it, you must think now, man, I had a couple of hours that I probably needed to do, that do a bit more, but sort of benefiting from this scenario in a little way.
Maybe. But with what's his name, Dermy, they told him no alcohol. At least till tomorrow. They just won the grand final by, scoring 151 points and winning by a goal.
No booze.
No booze. And he had the broken ribs, pissing blood, vomiting, the rest of it. They said no booze at least till tomorrow. So 12:01, popped one open.
Yeah, celebrate his win.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
He got his VB moment. You know, he got it. He finally got it, which was you can get it winning a grand final, pissing blood.
Oh, man, I came across one. So when we were talking about this, I said, I joked that maybe you can get it driving.
Yeah, which obviously they wouldn't do.
No.
Because they can't encourage
for legal reasons.
Driving.
Yeah, for just public health and safety. But apparently you can.
You can get it driving.
You can get it driving. You can get it riding. You can get it driving.
Yeah, but what's the video context? What's he driving?
I think he's riding a horse.
Yeah.
Driving a tractor.
Driving a tractor. Right.
I don't know if that counts as a motor vehicle if it's not licensed to run on the road, maybe? Maybe no, probably. Can you drink and drive an unlicensed vehicle on your own property?
That's interesting. Interesting. So when I was a kid growing up, go out on the boat, and the boat booze rules are you got to blow under a certain amount, right? That's what it was anyway. So that means that, you know, the drink driving rules are not you cannot drink while you're driving, because you absolutely cannot.
No, I've been fined for drinking whilst driving.
There you go. But even if you blow under, right? So you've got a beer in the coaster thing, and you've cracked the beer. That's not a thing. But on a boat, it's totally a thing.
Oh, right. So you can't. Wait. So you can drink whilst driving?
No, probably not, right? Probably not.
What's the difference with the boat?
I guess it's because you don't feel like you're on the road as a boatman.
It's like a big watery road.
It is a big watery road.
A lot of lanes.
Shitloads of room. You're out in the great outdoors. You're in that sort of I'm outdoors mode.
You think that makes it okay?
No, I don't. But it's definitely a thing.
No, I don't think people drink and drive boats.
That's good.
I don't know. I'm not a skipper.
But okay, for example, you're a boatie. You go to a spot. So you drive to a spot, have a couple of beers, and you'd be able to drive back, right?
Yeah, I think if you're under the limit, I think, yeah.
So that's the regular boating thing, I guess.
People do that driving as well, right?
Yeah, people do. So that's why I use that as an example, because you drive to a pub, have a couple of beers, you can probably drive home. Is that true?
I think, yeah. I think it's the same rules. I'm not sure if I'm completely trolling it, but I know. Yeah, I was on the way to a party and I didn't know many people there, and I thought, might just get a bit of social lubricant into me. So I was just driving along. I just cracked my first beer.
Yep.
And wasn't a good look. I was just finishing at some lights, and a policeman saw me and he pulled me over. And I thought to myself, I was like, "Oh, this is embarrassing," but I'm not over. I've only had one beer, so I just owned up to the guy. I said, "Terribly sorry, officer," because I didn't think I could get fined. I thought he just had to pull me over because I could be.
You could be 6 beers in.
I could be having a huge session. Yeah. I'd be having a huge session.
Sure.
And I said, "I'm really sorry. I've got a 6-pack right here. The party's just around the corner. I'm free to go." Basically tried to just relieve myself. And then he was like, you can't do that. It's street drinking.
Yeah.
That's drink. And so I've got a fine. It says drinking whilst driving. And so I turned up at the party and I was like, man, I just got a pretty cool fine. And I did do the breathalyzer, and I was a bit worried because I had fresh beer in my mouth. Thought that might increase my perceived blood alcohol level.
Yeah. So what? You think he spotted the can from his?
He spotted me. I knocked my head right back because I was getting the last of the bottle. So my head, it just looks. And he said it's just a bad look. He goes, "I'm going to have to fine you. It's not a good look."
It is not a good look.
I should have.
He's right. He's right. Like if you were a parent of a child and you looked across and the guy at the lights next to you whilst driving was drinking a beer, like I see it on the freeway on a Friday afternoon. You know what I mean? I'll be driving on the freeway and there'll be a guy driving along, just cracking a beer. So, but you're allowed to consume other things whilst driving.
Yeah.
You can have a burger. You can have some chips. Apparently.
I should have just started reading him the riot act. I should have said, you can get it riding, you can get it driving.
You can get it driving.
Get it doing nothing at all. A big thirst needs a big beer.
A big cold thirst needs a big cold beer.
Right.
And the best cold beer is Vic.
Yeah, so...
So you can get it driving, or you could in the past get it driving, but it was only a tractor on private grounds, max speed. Sort of
when you're reaping is that what you call it? Reaping the crop? Let me know.
Yeah. Maybe they'd say harvest.
I've got something for you actually.
Go on.
All I saw was one picture of it and a headline. It's a new Guinness World Record.
Excellent.
And so I've got a good vacuous perspective on it because I don't actually know anything about it. Other than this, I'll just read it to you. Took a screenshot. Achieving a seemingly impossible feat, Colombian speed cuber Angel Alvaro juggles and puzzles at the same time to set a new world record. Yep. So that doesn't really mean a lot, but what this guy's done, he looks like this 13-year-old little greasy number. He has solved 3 Rubik's Cubes on the go whilst juggling in the fastest time. So when the Rubik's Cube is in his hand, he's manipulating it towards achieving the climax that is solving the Rubik's Cube.
So he has to solve the Rubik's Cubes whilst juggling the Rubik's Cubes.
Yeah. Did that kind of freak you? Does that freak you out? It freaks me out. I didn't know that was possible.
I've seen something similar. So
what level is this guy's brain? I can't even figure out how to use a Rubik's Cube.
Well, my brother is quite good at Rubik's Cubes.
Is he? Which one?
Yeah, he can. The younger brother. Oh. He can actually solve them without even looking at them.
Really? Can he juggle?
Yeah, he could juggle. Not for a long time.
Does he want a world record?
How many? What does he have to do?
Let me tell you.
Yeah. Tell me what he has to achieve. I need the goal. You know, you can't just say solve Rubik's Cubes whilst juggling. If you want to beat the world record, you've got to do it in, I guess, a certain amount of time. Is he the first record holder of this, or is this did he break someone's record?
Just says Colombian teen solves 3 Rubik's Cubes whilst juggling, which makes it sound like it could be the first one. A coordinated Colombian 19-year-old, that's for sure, coordinated, broke his own record. Oh, his own one. Well, that's not as good. You break your own one. That's kind of like...
Unless the previous record was set by somebody else and he beat it and then broke his own record. Because if you beat it and then you break your own record, that's totally cool. I'm down with that.
Okay, 4 minutes and 31 seconds. That sounds pretty good. Angel. His name's Angel.
I've got a challenge for you then, Nate, if you're willing to accept it.
Do I have to accept it now?
Do you want to hear it first?
Can I hear it first?
Yeah. I want you to set a timer.
I accept.
Okay, accept it. Yeah. Set a timer for 4 minutes and 34 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you think you could solve a Rubik's Cube in 4 minutes and 34 seconds? Now, I know you said...
I probably can't even masturbate in 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
What I'm saying is, I know you said you feel like you can't solve a Rubik's Cube, but what if I told you that it would just be like, you know, a couple of YouTube videos?
Oh, well, I was thinking about getting a Rubik's Cube for the plane to go to France, but I don't know. Where do you buy one, do you reckon?
Any games shop? I don't know, Target? Fuck, like any of those, like Kmart or some shit might have a Rubik's Cube.
But I want a good one as well, because I think because I've thought about this a little bit. You want the Rubik's Cube to feel good. You don't want a shitty one that's gripping and you want it to be like so smooth. This guy's juggling and massaging these
special
things.
Ones. Yeah,
I think they're special. Yeah,
they're special ones.
Look, he hasn't done that with $5 Rubik's cubes. I bet you each one of those bad boys costs $100.
Oh, 100%. He would be juggling the best Rubik's cubes money can buy.
What is the best Rubik's cube?
That money can buy?
Yeah, most expensive.
You want most expensive? That's where you're going to start?
Well, wouldn't the most expensive most likely be the best?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. The Masterpiece Cube. Where's the Masterpiece Cube? It looks like something Flavor Flav would wear around his neck.
Yeah, so it's got a bit of bling going on.
Yeah, it was created in 1995 by Diamond Cutters International to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the puzzle becoming popular internationally. 2.5 mil, crafted from amethyst, emeralds, and rubies in 18 karat gold. Fuck, that'd be heavy.
So here's the plan, right? You go out tomorrow, you buy this thing, right? 2.5 million. We buy it, right?
Is that okay to buy a 2.5 million Rubik's Cube, $2.5 million Rubik's Cube if I don't know how to use it?
That's so then you'd start a YouTube channel, right? Called Solving the World's Most Expensive Rubik's Cube.com, right? Then just people who are Rubik's Cube people will want to see this thing get solved, get jumbled up, get solved again tomorrow. There's another episode coming out where I'm playing with the most expensive Rubik's Cube in the world, right?
How many sort of half-hour sessions do you reckon I'd need with this thing?
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. You just have to recoup that $2.5 million, right? And then you can pick another thing. It doesn't matter anymore.
I reckon I'd need multiple seasons. I'd like season one. It's just me trying to solve this thing. It would be triggering so many people watching me.
I'd learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning on the most expensive Rubik's Cube. I wanted to get into Rubik's Cubes, but I didn't want to go half-assed. I wanted to go all in. So I purchased the diamond-encrusted amethyst monstrosity you see before you. And
in my mind, in my experience anyway, I think someone's got it close to being finished and given it to me, and it just gets worse. It's really sad to see it deteriorate.
What, you've had situations where someone's gone, this is almost solved.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it's easy. Just sort of like finish it. And then it just starts all falling apart.
How dare they think it's so easy from like that point where like you can still do a wrong turn. Like if you're 4 turns from finishing, how many possible things are there? Like there's heaps of possibilities.
Yeah.
But here's the pledge. If Natalia Walters' money finally comes through from the Milanese accountant, because it's like we get like 7-8 million, right? I think we can probably splash out on a Rubik's Cube. That's all I'm saying.
What the best money can buy.
Yeah.
The most opulent.
Yeah, we're not interested in buying a starter Rubik's Cube.
No, at least not to learn on. Start with the best. See how we go. Yeah. Well, that's for next week.
Yeah, well, the challenge should be if you think you could solve a Rubik's Cube during, say, let's give your trip as a sort of like, because you do have some time on the plane. Maybe you want to play with around the Rubik's Cube. Who knows? And I reckon you could solve it easily.
All right, I'll find one tomorrow. I'll give it a crack. I'll let you know how I go. But about JK very quickly. They were loving him on the weekend, absolutely loving him. So that the players, the commentators, it was a JK celebration.
It was.
Did you see some of the flashbacks to his earlier days and things? They did some short videos.
I've seen some stuff on YouTube over the last couple of days, but that was sort of released through West Coast's YouTube channel, I think. Okay. So bit of a tribute, I guess.
Tribute, yeah. I forgot. Like I remember I call him Twinkle Toes all the time, and I have this memory of him doing the little Twinkle Toes run up, the little stutter. But that was showing some slow-mos, particularly when it got really, really bad for a while.
Yeah, was he actually like taking the piss?
I forgot how bad it got.
Is it what are we talking? Are we talking like little like hoofs?
He
like
looks like he has epilepsy.
Okay, yeah.
Like you don't know if he's having a seizure or if he's having a shot at goal.
But I'll tell you what happened after. He probably kicked the goal.
Oh, he definitely kicked the goal. That's the problem. Okay, if you started, if I'm doing some goal kicking down the park, right?
Sure.
Which I do with the girlfriend sometimes.
Yeah.
And let's say if I put on his little epileptic fit and then kick the goal, I'm like, okay, that's great. If I do that another 3 times and I kick the goal every time, because I don't normally kick 4 goals in a row. I'm not very accurate. I have to now just start kicking like that, don't I?
Absolutely. And do you think that's how it evolved for him? Do you reckon it just kept working for him? And it was maybe a bit of positive confirmation bias where he didn't recognize the times where he didn't do it and missed, you know?
I 100% think that's what it is, confirmation bias. It got in his head. He got in his own head.
Yeah. They teach you how to kick. But what was fascinating was seeing other players try the stutter step.
Oh, really?
Yeah, other players started to pick it up as well, man.
Who else has given it a go?
I've seen a player, I don't know, it must have been a few years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, but they were commenting that he was doing it. He might have only done it once or twice and someone tapped him on the shoulder and went, bro, just don't let that get into your head, right? Because you don't want anything in your head as an AFL player. Like, you know, if you've got it into your head that you have to wear a certain pair of underpants, otherwise you lose or whatever it is. Superstition. It's bad. I'm watching some of his stutter step highlights here and they're amazing. Like
they're pretty bad, aren't they? Yeah,
letting the ground know about it. And he's like, he's shaking. There's one where his legs are shaking like a lot.
Man, they showed a super slow-mo zoomed in on his calves.
Oh, that's so good.
And they were rippling.
Yeah, they're just getting ready for the glory. They're rippling with glory.
Oh, the best. I was wobbling.
Oh, no.
It looks exhausting. I reckon that kind of fast twitch action.
It just kept working, though. It just kept working. Do you reckon at one point, because he kept doing it, he still does it, right?
He did for quite a while.
Do you think he still does it? I think he was still doing it.
He got out of the habit. I don't know how exactly, but I think some people tapped him on the shoulder and were like, man, you'd be better if you just didn't.
How dare they? He's a Coleman medalist. You know? Like there's a game that I play and it's sort of like Counter-Strike. And everybody pretty much uses the same gun. Like if you said pick a gun, everyone picks the same gun.
What is it?
It's like an AK-47 equivalent. Is
it the best gun?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't use that gun.
You don't?
Because, I don't like it. I don't like the best gun in the game. I like it the tier under it. People hate it.
Is it too much of a cliche for you?
No, it's just what I got used to, and it kept working.
Oh,
I'm Josh Kennedy in this Valorant game because I use the Bulldog. Everyone uses the Vandal. People tell me, "Hey man, do you want me to drop you a Vandal?" And I'll say, "No, I got my Bulldog. All good." And a friend of mine posted just today in the chatter. I'll find it. Yeah. He's found Val's burner account on Reddit, and the post says, the post is really curious on what guns you'll use. The ones that people say are bad when you use it, but you're really good with it. And this best comment, the top one is Bulldog. I don't know why no one gets why I save with it, but it's always worked well for me. So they're just saying like, is this your like burner Reddit account?
So you're of the Bulldog bandwagon. You're on that. You're firmly you're the captain, if not the vice captain.
If that is how the website was, and it says best comments are pinned to the top, then I think that goes to show that there's quite a large contingent of bulldog users out there
Yeah.
who are just crashing it and making
Backing you up.
sad. No, but I think this is what I think, though. I think I'm a bit like Kennedy, because I think if someone's, people tap me on the shoulder and say, bro, you need to drop that, like, get the Vandal, right? And I'm still stutter stepping at the moment. I'm still
stutter step. Yeah, that's your stutter step.
Yeah.
You keep doing you. I mean, that's variety's the spice of life. If we all use what's the main gun?
The Vandal.
The Vandal. What's the point in playing the game?
Yeah. But I think with Kennedy as well, they must have stopped at some point and said, bro, you just do you, common medalist Josh Kennedy. Because that might have changed, but I think when it was working for them as well, like he's going back and going, did you see that? That worked. And they're like, yay, it worked, And then he kept doing it. And they're like, see, it's still working. And they're like, oh, yeah, but stop it. And he's like, no, I'll keep doing it. And then they went, right, fuck it. Do what you want, man. You're common medalist Josh Kennedy. And then later someone else has tapped him on the shoulder, maybe someone he respects a bit more in the goal kicking department. And he sort of said, mate, if you just dropped the stutter step and kicked, normally through the ball, you'd be dominating. And then maybe, I don't know how this happened.
I think the stutter step got to a point where it was actually starting to become a problem. And because as you just saw, I think it got really bad. And I think someone just did tap and go, like, man, I think it started to affect his goal kicking. And it wasn't very reproducible because he didn't do it the same every time. It was completely different. It was some kind of 2-step shuffle, but 30 or 40 steps.
Yeah. And let's think about this from the goal kicking's coach's perspective. Like, he's responsible for the goal kickers.
It's making him look bad. It's
making him look bad because he's doing this thing that nobody does that he didn't teach him. And then when they're trying to replicate it back in the, he's saying, okay, so show us how you're kicking, Josh. He does the whole jugga. And he's going, okay, with the second jugga, could you maybe just get a little more jigglies into it, maybe? He's trying to coach him through this. Maybe we're thinking about it all wrong. Maybe the kicking coach is just, bro, this is so good. You need to go further with this. And then the evolution of it, and he comes back and he's going, did you just see me twitching out there tonight? Did you see me twitching out there today? He's like, yes, that was great. I loved that. That would look really good.
He got overcoached, you reckon?
Yeah, we got this forward coach. Don't know who it was. I'm just spitballing, saying, "Bro, it's working. You're right." Like, he's fully bought into the stutter hype as well. So now there's, Jack Darling must have done it. There must be a goal that Jack Darling's kicked where he's done it, guaranteed.
You reckon Darling's done it? No,
I reckon Darling's done it at least once.
No way. He would have fallen over his own ankles or something. I'm devastated. I found this article. It's called "The Evolution of Kennedy's Kicking Style," and it's just a 1-minute video.
Yeah, I've seen that. Was the video I was watching.
Is that the one? Okay.
It doesn't even it's not an article in the sense that they talk about it. It's just highlights. So they just show maybe 8 goals.
Yeah. Okay. I got another athletics or athletic feat at least.
Okay.
It was. What event was it? I watched a video of it. Fuck, I'll have to find out what it is. But essentially, the headline was just too good. I knew it was clickbait, but I'm into athletics, and it was just too good.
Balls. Yeah.
Okay, so it was at some under 18 championship somewhere, but the headline was "Runner finishes last in 400-meter race."
I know this one. Yeah, go on.
As penis keeps falling out of shorts.
Penis keeps falling out of shorts. Oh, well, if you can't win in many sporting competition when your penis keeps coming out.
Because I like 400s, I have to see this. And also I love the fact he finished last, because then the penis was really affecting his action. It wasn't a little thing like the penis.
Yeah, but if you finish second last, there's a bloke who finished behind him who couldn't beat the guy whose cock kept coming out during the race.
Who had a contained penis, yeah. There's a video of it. And it's great because it's so far back that you can't, you get enough detail you see enough pixels to know what's going on, but you don't have to. It's not like right in your face or anything. It like he's doing quite well. He could have won it if his penis stayed in place.
It's know that the penis wrecked everything
because he decided apparently the last minute he decided to go commando. Someone talked him into it. Probably got coached into it.
Like the Kennedy situation.
Yeah, these damn coaches.
Bro, you're going to win today. Yeah, I am. Yeah, just one thing I'd change about the whole thing. Yeah, go on. Dump the jocks, bro. Dump the jocks. Okay, so he's trying this out. Yeah.
And what I assume is I've got some running shorts that have like, I don't know, I'm assuming that I've got, because otherwise there has to be there's built-in underwear, but it's not very tight. It's kind of like I wear I don't know if you're supposed to. I think you are now. Now I've seen this guy with his penis flopping around. I wear underwear underneath my built-in underwear because I don't trust it. Anyway, it must have just slipped out the side somehow, or maybe it's a bit loose. The elastic's a bit loose. And it just starts like, it's basically getting like bashed around by his sort of leg, and it's just like flapping like really, really like violently. And he has to keep like changing his gait and trying to like shove it back in his pants. And it probably comes out about 3 or 4 times, and he's so embarrassed by the end. Can you imagine running past this dude and doing this like... That is so good.
I'm finally getting around to seeing this video, and he just keeps pushing it back under the shorts. He just keeps sort of fiddling.
Bro, I could not wipe the smile off my face watching that. I thought it was just
so we've got a short malfunction. Do you reckon he's rolled up the left leg somehow? The right leg. I don't know how this is a thing.
Rolled up the right leg.
Yeah, because they're just super short shorts.
Well,
some of the other blokes have either longer shorts, or he's wearing them high. I don't know, but oh my God. He didn't lose, did he? He looks like he's finishing quite strong. Oh no, he did come last.
He does. I think he gives up. But he was in lane 3. It was in the decathlon somewhere. So he's not a 400-meter runner. Like the decathlon, you have to do 10 events. You all do 10 events, and you get like points depending on where you finish relative to your peers. But he's starting in lane 4 or 5. So I don't know how I don't know how they decide who. That's supposed to be a lane for the person who's supposed to win. The fastest qualifier is supposed to start in 4. But I don't know what they do in a decathlon, because they're all just heats. So then they put your time against all the other people that are doing the event. There's probably about 30 of them.
Okay, and you're not just playing for this one event. You're obviously you're in for the whole thing.
What's great is this was the end of the first day. So they do 5 events on the first day and 5 on the next. So he has to come back. Everyone's probably been talking about it. People probably watched the video. You've gone viral with your penis out of your pants overnight.
Yeah, but... yeah.
And then you have to come back. And I bet you everyone was asking him, so have you sorted that out?
Are you wearing underwear today?
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be rough, because if he won the race, it'd be an even better viral.
He would never wear underwear again.
That's what I was thinking. You'd be like, no, that's it. That's what I do now.
Okay, so that's like the Kennedy situation. So if you win and your penis comes out, is that a violation of the rules? Like, you can't be doing that, right?
It's got to be. If you kept doing it, they'd surely tap you on the shoulder and go, "What's going on, man? Is it the shorts, or what's happening here?"
If you think that's what's going to make you win, though, do you wait till the most important race of your life and then you just let it rip? Because one time they can't disqualify you, can they?
Maybe he's, like you said, not a 400-meter runner. Maybe he's a sprinter, or maybe he's got a bit of long jump or high jump or something. And I think, generally speaking, in sort of your pole vault, your high jump, your long jump, penis out, totally fine. So
pole vault
and hurdles.
What? Wait, which ones are fine?
All of those ones, just not the running ones.
Oh, what about
pretty sure you're allowed to get your cock out in pretty much every other athletics.
You think running's a bit too vigorous?
I think so. Do you remember the Shervington one, Matt Shervington?
Bro, if his penis got out of his pants, we've got World War III on our hands. We have a nuclear explosion.
But he's wearing like a full jumpsuit thing. Like there's no penis getting out of those pants.
Yeah, that snake is well and truly under control. He's probably taped it down.
So he went viral all those years ago.
Yeah, for having a small child in there.
Yeah.
I'm reading his Wikipedia.
Maybe he was thinking that. Maybe that's why the commando line was like drawn. Maybe he was like, bro, get it out. Not get it out, but, get it out.
I can't see anything in his Wikipedia about this because this was the greatest thing. Shervington reminds me of Bradbury.
Yeah, okay.
Without having the success.
Yeah, go on.
He's struggling away in a sport that he's unlikely to ever succeed in.
Yeah.
But not everyone fell over and he didn't win. He did get some success. What was it? He got a silver. Oh no, bronze. Sorry, a bronze in
the Olympics.
Yeah, I think. We got to find this out. He finished fourth. Okay, 89. He was like at one stage. He was my record. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, I'll tell you what I think happened. Right, and then we'll figure it out. I do have Wikipedia up, but it's all confusing me. All these facts. He won the bronze in something.
Okay,
I think in a solo event, and I think he was at one stage. He did a very low 10-second run. He was the third fastest white man to have ever run the 100 meters at one point. That's what I think happened. And he was known for having an anaconda hidden in his pants, which everyone wondered about how he does so well with
all the extra weight. Yeah.
If anything, he should be in the disabled Olympics.
Right.
Because I think that is pretty close to having a disability when you're trying to run 100 meters. Yeah.
So he was actually commentating for the Commonwealth Games. So he's got a bit of a media gig now, obviously, being a commentator and stuff, an all-around good dude, I guess.
Of course.
So his medal record is from the World Championships. He's got a bronze in the 4x1, and he's got a bronze in the Kuala Lumpur Commonwealth Games 4x1. So he hasn't done the individual thing.
No, well, I was wrong.
His PB is 10.03 seconds.
I was right about that.
And that must have been in a but how does that work? That must have been in a heat, because he would be a medal winner if he was. Oh no, that's just his PB.
Yeah.
Dude.
Probably had a roaring tailwind. Hey, these are things that I never knew about him. This is where his real success lies. In 2004, Shervington was a contestant in the first series of Dancing with the Stars. He was the inaugural Dancing with the Stars dancer person.
Did he win?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, bummer.
Well, they would have said that, I think. They would have said that.
Yeah, they would have said if he was going to be.
And in 2009, these are real achievements. You got to dig, but they're out there. He had a cameo and a one-liner in the third episode of 30 Seconds.
What's that? What's 30 Seconds?
Don't know.
It's an Australian comedy series.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. Hosted Holy Moly, Ultimate Tag.
Last but not least, Shervington appeared in a guest role on the Australian version of The Biggest Loser in 2010. So he's done it a lot.
He's done it all. He qualified for the 100-metre semi-finals in Sydney, finishing 5th. Okay,
that's pretty good. Sydney, he would have got a rousing reception in
So he must have been quite old when it happened then, because that was only, maybe 10 years ago? How many years ago was that?
Yeah, okay, he's 43 now. Okay, he's getting on.
33? Sounds like 2001. I don't know. Can't have been that long ago. Maybe it was. Hey, speaking of things that were a long time ago, we talked about the sort of planned moon missions coming up.
Yeah, what do we got? What do we got going on?
Oh, well, I was more interested in the way that they're named.
Oh, okay. What are they named?
Well, because we had the, that probe thing that's going to bring back some space dust from that caramel-covered steel monstrosity that's out there.
Right, yeah.
They're going to bring some of that back, and that was the Bennu. Did you say that was the Bennu sort of launch?
Yeah, I pronounced it Bennu, but
Bennu. Yeah, no, Bennu. Yeah, I think that's right.
Two
and
N's.
which was an Egyptian god.
Right.
So some things are named after Egyptian gods.
And there was the other one, the Apophis or something. I didn't know this was an Egyptian god either. You
Egyptian god, yeah. And Stargate.
How do you pronounce that?
Apophis.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how they did in the TV show. But the Apollo program, right?
Okay.
So the Apollo program, that's a Greek god, though.
Greek number, yeah.
But it's he's got sort of he's the Greek god of quite a bit. Okay. And
is that his official title?
Well, it's just a long list of stuff. Okay. God of archery, music, dance, truth and prophecy, healing and diseases, the sun and light, poetry, and more. Okay, so that's not even all of it.
Jeez, he's the Matt Shirvington of Greek culture. He's done it all.
Yeah, he's a bit of a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Now, the new project, the one that's going to send man back to the moon for the first time in 50 years.
Tell me.
Is Artemis. It's the Artemis program. Okay. Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo.
Okay. What's she known for? What's her rap sheet?
She's the goddess of the hunt, the wilderness. So the wilderness being outer space, I imagine. Wild animals, nature, vegetation, childbirth, care of children, and this one's a bit of a weird one to put at the very end, and chastity. So nature, childbirth, care of children, and chastity.
So she's like a I don't know, like a child rearer, not a.
Well, she's embodying nature as well, which of course has its own life cycle. The wilderness, it's pretty much everything. It's a good amount of everything. But I think they just took it obviously because it's it's the twin sister of Apollo.
Twin sister, yeah.
They're both moon goddesses,
Okay. Do you have any prophecy or lore about these characters? Like, do they, other than the things they're known for, do they have a story that goes with them?
Oh, they absolutely would, right? But I don't know it. I can tell you that with the Apollo one was interesting to me because obviously truth and prophecy is one of his sort of jams, and the sun and light. So there's a lot of interesting sort of spacey stuff going on there. Plus, if you think about what they're trying to achieve, like when you're going to space, you essentially are ascending to the heavens, so you're amongst the gods, and that makes sense that you'd name stuff after, Egyptian gods, Greek gods. I guess I don't know why it's just the Greeks and the Egyptians getting a kick at the moment at old NASA, but I'm sure they've got their reasons for it.
It's strange, isn't it, using these historical like sort of pagan kind of gods and things. Like I find I thought that would be more matter of fact to just be like, oh, it's BMK501, and it's more like the acronym means, it means something scientific, and they just keep using that taxonomy and keep going with it. And then when you start bringing all like prophecy and things into it, I'm like, whoa, like, are you guys scientists or like historians?
I know what you mean. I don't know who names the programs, but they are obviously trying to think about it meaning something. Do you know what I mean? There's meaning that they're trying to attach to this, that sort of, because space is the final frontier. It's the,
if we're going forward, it's like I find a little bit it's looking backwards using all these. Look, I like it. I love it. Because I didn't even know Artemis. I didn't even know Apollo. Gee, I should have known Greeks. Isn't Apollo the first, or like, doesn't Apollo mean the first or something like that?
No, I don't think so. He was the son of Zeus and who is it? Zeus and Leto.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's I don't know where it's sort of where the meaning of the word sort of ended up, but
Yeah, I'm having a quick look at who Artemis is, and it's just a lot of stuff. She's just a lot of lore.
One of my brothers gets very upset with me whenever I refer to ancient sort of these stories, these mythological stories, as being, I sort of say it probably incorrectly, as a sort of early form of science. I'm going to dump the word science, right, because it makes him really angry. I'm going to say it's an ancient form of I'm going to struggle now. It's like an ancient form. It's a way of understanding the world. Yeah. And it's a bad way of understanding it.
Yeah.
But it's easier to say something like Zeus creates lightning bolts in the sky and can throw them down, and that's what you see when there's lightning, right?
It's just a fiction to believe in.
But it's also like doing your best at the time with nothing at your disposal, with no ideas and concepts of how it's actually happening. You're making it up, right, as a way to explain away amazing things. And I always thought that there's often a lot of sort of important, if you were to really dig into it, sort of ends up being survival tips or sharing of history or culture.
Oh, so you think there's a bit of knowledge?
Yeah, hidden knowledge or encrypted knowledge.
Yeah.
And so, how to think about it the other day. There's a classic story, and I don't know if you know it, but I don't know it either. I'm going to tell you what I remember.
I would love to hear your version of it.
Here's my version of it. Right, there were these bros kicking around called Titans or some shit.
Okay,
and they were sort of the big dicks swinging around Earth at the time. And the gods, like your Zeuses and whatnot, they were actually in a bit of a fight with them, or one of the god group in the main gods group. They were fighting the Titans, and they won. Right? They beat the Titans, and when I imagine these Titans, they're big rock men, and they live in mountains or some shit. Okay. Anyway, they end up getting imprisoned in a mountain by the big dog, I think by Zeus.
Okay,
and this was sort of the end of the war with the Titans. The gods had prevailed. Yeah, I think that might be sort of semi-encoded knowledge, because it could refer to how early man beat out the Neanderthals, for example.
It certainly could.
It's sort of a story like Noah's flood, where something clearly happened to create all these flood myths. All of these cultures around the world have the same sort of myth. We've talked about it before. So it was, everyone had their different way of explaining what happened and how it came about.
We tell stories, right?
Stories, exactly.
We pass the story on.
And whenever I imagine these Greek gods and stuff, they just look like humans, dude. They look like regular humans, regular dicks as well. They don't even have...
They've all got regular dicks. If they were running with no underwear, their dick would flop around like everyone else's. They put their shorts on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you I'm totally with you with how we're just... I think the way we convey information down the chain to the next ones is through stories, right? I think this is where all these myths got legs.
Yeah. And time.
They change, and then some people don't even know how to explain the stories, so you give them a kind of bit of a god flavour to it to sauce it up.
Yeah,
make it a bit more interesting, a bit sticky, right? You start talking about thunderbolts coming out of hands and living in the sky, right? You remember that stuff. You pass it on. It's kind of intriguing. It's a bit alluring, even.
And they always come from a place of like, I was told this story when I was your age. Here you go. This
Tradition.
is like it's for you. But these are all dead religions, right? As far as I'm aware, right? There's no one still worshipping Apollo, right? Unless there are.
I guess so. I don't know.
And same with the ancient Egyptian gods, right? No, that's not a thing that's worshipped anymore. Right?
You're probably right. I haven't thought about it. Yeah.
So what are we doing? Like, what, all those temples, all the statues, all the cool shit they did, well, that was all nothing? That was all nothing?
I think it was a way of getting people to work together. I think that religions brought people together to believe in something.
Yep.
And it
also keeps an eye on us and makes sure we're being, you don't need it to do that, but I think it was sort of viewed that way.
Yeah, but you can meet, if you meet someone else from the same religion, say you got some kind of artifact or sign, or you give off some kind of bloody smell. You look at another one of you, and you don't have to know them, but you because you have something in common, you will cooperate with them.
Yeah.
So you get power in numbers.
George Carlin has a bit that people will always rush to find the difference between another person. You don't focus on the things that you have in common. You actually go for, where do we disagree, right? So I'll give you an example that should hit close to home. You could be in another country. You could be in New York City. You could run into a person on the street. He sounds like he's got an Australian accent. You could say, "Excuse me, are you Australian?" He'd say, "Yes, I am." You go, "Oh my God, I'm Australian." He says, "That's great. Where are you from?" You say, "I'm from Perth." He says, "I'm from Perth." You're kidding. We're both from Perth. This is amazing. Are you north of the river or south of the river? And he goes, "I'm north." And the other guy goes, "I'm south." And they both say in unison, "I fucking hate you."
Bro.
Or which team do you support, West Coast or Freo? "Oh, I'm a West Coast supporter." "I'm a Freo Dockers supporter." You're a scumbag.
Okay, I couldn't disagree more. That is the most pessimistic.
No. It happens, right? It happens.
I'll tell you what happens. When you said this hits close to home, it does hit close to home.
I know.
Very close. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it does. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I was in Europe, and I overheard an Australian accent. I must have told you this before because it pretty much goes down your track, but almost different. So I hear this Australian accent. I'm on like a pub crawl type thing, or is it, maybe it was a tour, like maybe it was a walking tour or something. I gravitate towards him, thinking, "Hey, is it Australian? I've got something in common. Cool." I'm like, "Hey man," and then we start talking. We start realizing we have friends in common.
Friends in common.
Both knows Vaughan Palmer, and then we realize that. We played for the same junior football team when we were younger. He stopped playing at 12 and I started playing at 12. I started halfway through the year and it was his last year. Turns out the guy's been to my house.
He's been to your house as well.
You live in the house just across from the park where we trained. Yeah. I was like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I think I remember that day you came over in the garage just hanging out with. He was a friend of a friend. He was a friend of like my sort of best friend.
Yep. And
I said to him, "Man, this is so weird. I'm in fucking Prague or something. I just hear an Australian accent. Yeah. Start a conversation with him. I travel the world to meet new people, to explore new frontiers.
Hanging out with an old childhood friend.
Guy has sat in the garage with me. Absolutely ludicrous.
But is he a Freo Dockers supporter or is he a West Coast supporter?
I don't know.
You didn't find out.
No,
That's why
we had a great time. No, but I would have definitely, like, if there was some, like, if the cavalry rode in, right, and a war situation broke out, me and him are going down, like, back on back, firing off arrows. Yeah, because I'm like, we're best friends forever now. We will. We'll do what we need to do to survive.
Yeah, we're Team Perth over here.
Doesn't matter if he supports Fremantle. I mean, we're both with WA teams at this point.
I agree. The scumbag may be muttered under the breath or dismissed immediately in lieu of a potential friendship. But at least when I was younger, it was definitely the way. Someone would be like, "I'm a Dockers supporter." You just immediately have to hate them. We don't really have to hate them anymore. Plus, they're doing really well this season, so power to them.
They're doing so well. Yeah, so I disagree somewhat on that, but Anyway, hey, I came across something that I wanted to mention because I didn't actually know this, and I'm not good with celebrities. You know this? I live under a rock, so I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed I didn't know this.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I was shocked to find out that James Packer was engaged to Mariah Carey.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
That was a while ago.
What is wrong with me?
What do you mean?
I didn't know that.
There's nothing wrong with you.
I just don't follow celebrity stuff.
It's okay. No, you don't have to.
I think it was, I just came across it and I was like, what? When was James Packer with Mariah Carey? I thought she would have some kind of integrity. He can't
Mariah
be like,
Carey?
no, yeah, I thought Mariah Carey would have some integrity.
Okay.
Because who's wealthier in that situation?
I don't know.
I assumed he would be wealthier.
I would say so.
Right. So why? And Mariah Carey's not short of a buck.
No, she did, but maybe she doesn't want. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they fell in love. Maybe they fell in love.
No.
They didn't fall in love.
No, they did not. They did not. I don't know what is wrong with them, but James Packer can't just be like a good bloke. Can he?
I don't know. There's shit blokes out there all the time.
Yeah, I just can't see him being like someone I want to marry.
What, him?
Him.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, no.
If I was a woman or if I was a man, either way.
Yeah,
I can't see it. I can't see it.
No. But no, you don't need to follow the celebrity goss. You probably get a nice filtered version of it through your girlfriend.
Not really. She's not really into it that much. A little bit. The hilarious thing is,
they must know the big stuff.
She'll know someone, or I'll know someone.
Yeah.
Like I'll know like James Harden or something, and I'll mention that he's a basketballer. So she doesn't know who he is, and then she comes into the shot his wife, and she'll be like, oh yeah, whatever, this person, yeah, I know her, and I'm like, hey, who's that? That's nobody. She's like, oh, no, she's a big deal. I know her. I'm like, you don't know him. Don't know James Harden. You know this chick.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
She probably is. She's probably like James Harden's. Like she knows everyone's wife. I'm like, it's madness.
Will Smith.
Wait, what? Jessica with a Jessyyka.
Okay,
Jessica. I don't even know if that's her. It says James Harden's girlfriend. Okay, Jessica.
That's the bio. James Harden's girlfriend.
Anyway, you learn something new every day. So there's a couple of,
I'm glad we get the big stuff.
Tidbits.
No. Will Smith did release an apology video, and I sort of mentioned that if he took my advice, word for word, I'd have to hit him up for some dollary dues. Maybe 50.
What did he say?
He basically said that his behaviour was unacceptable, which I think I mentioned to say straight off the bat. But he didn't do. Okay, just to rewind a bit.
Okay.
We all know what happened. Don't need to do that.
No, look. So who did he hit?
Oh, so Chris Rock got slapped at the Oscars by Will Smith for doing a G.I. Jane joke that was totally tame, and there was a few moments that happened. I speculate that because this is what I remember. The joke gets told. Will Smith laughs, probably politely. As a first row guy, he was probably just playing along with the show. He looks over and Jada's not having a bar of it. She's very upset with this, and I understand. Like she's a alopecia. She's
the butt of a joke.
And she's the butt of the joke, right? Even though I think the joke was totally tame and not really about her condition as much as G.I. Jane 2.
Yeah.
So after I'm not having a bar of this, Will Smith casually walks up to the stage and slaps Chris Rock in the face. kind of hard. Even though I've gone down the rabbit hole and thought maybe it was all fake and like all for a different reason, he's now done this apology video, right? Which was a long time coming.
Well, and in your defense about it being fake, I think we were just analysing it that it just looked a little bit sort of contrived somehow.
And didn't make sense.
It didn't make a lot of sense in the context of like how humans behave, particularly when you know the camera's on you. We think it was very peculiar behaviour, particular for Will.
Sure. And hopefully he addresses some of this in the apology. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't, no?
No. So the apology video is laid out like this. They sort of do a Q&A sesh. So there's maybe 4 questions that come in from the audience.
Who was queuing him? Oh, the audience.
As in, people have asked me what happened and stuff, so I'm going to answer some of your questions in this form. But he started off by apologising to Chris and sort of leaving it the door open to him, saying, "When you're ready to talk about it, I'm here," kind of thing. Which is like, that's pretty weak. Like, anyway,
wait. So you're saying to Chris, when you want to talk about it, like, you know,
I'm coming out saying I'm sorry. If you want to talk, you know where I'm at.
What's he supposed to say? That it was maybe say it was like a bad joke or something.
Yeah, I don't think there's a discussion that needs to happen. I think an apology needs to happen. But anyway, whatever. The first question I think was, why didn't you thank Chris Rock why didn't you not thank him? Why isn't going to thank him? Apologize to him in his acceptance speech. So we all know what happened. The security bouncers asked him to leave after the slap. He refused.
Yeah.
His movie he doesn't just get nominated for Best Actor, he wins it and then delivers an acceptance speech. People cheered, standing ovations, all bad. All bad. Like, he should have left, basically. Anyway, so the question was wrong. The question that they asked him, which was, why didn't you say sorry to him in the acceptance speech? The answer is he shouldn't have even been at the event, and you probably should have apologized to him via a phone call or some shit out of the event.
Yeah.
But this was the question that he asked himself to answer, because I guess he likes the angle of this one better. So he says, I didn't thank him because it was all a blur on the night and I just wasn't, still had no idea what kind of had happened, didn't realize how many people I'd hurt, blah, blah, blah. He says, and then he apologizes to Chris, gives him the door wide open treatment, and then goes straight to apologizing to Chris Rock's mother. So he apologizes to Chris Rock's mother and Chris Rock's family, right?
Okay.
Then he turns around to, well, she's not there, but he says, Jada, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry to the kids. I've dragged you into this mess. It sucks. We're probably not making it any better by, keeping it in the public discourse, but here we are. And then sort of gets asked the question. Next question was, did Jada tell you to do it? And he said, nope, she didn't do anything. She didn't say anything.
Are these questions screened, or how are these coming in? He wouldn't just be answering questions willy-nilly, right?
No. They were planned. There was 4 questions that he was going to ask and get answered.
Makes it sound like there's just a crowd and they're like, passing around a microphone and someone's like...
I don't think he said, hey, y'all, drop your questions to me on Twitter. I'm doing a video in 20 minutes.
A Q&A. I was thinking of literally the show Q&A.
You mean like a Ask Me Anything session?
Yeah.
It was just him sitting in front of a camera for 4 minutes, answering a few questions like that. Yeah. And all the questions did was he kicked so many goals in the questions that he asked himself, right? Because he gets to apologize to everybody, which is Chris Rock, Chris Rock's mum, Chris Rock's family, his family, and his wife.
His dog? Did his dog get him?
Everybody.
Okay,
Everybody's getting a sorry.
Yeah, sure.
And then he gets to clear Jada's name.
Because she's not involved. She's not involved.
Saying, she didn't tell me to do that. That was all me. I'm an idiot.
But did we even think that? Did anyone even think that was what's she going to do? Like, just write a little note and pass it, like discreetly slide it. Do they have their own sign language or something? What are they talking about? Like, we saw she didn't say anything, did she?
Not that we saw. No.
Yeah. So what? They're speaking. They're communicating via telepathy.
Yeah, through eye rolls. No, but he went out to clear her name, right, and say she had nothing to do with this. And I'm sorry to my kids because they're getting asked all these dumb questions about like this stuff. And he said he's done his career irreparable damage and stuff, which that's sort of unnecessary to mention in that moment. But
so he didn't take any of it. So he didn't mention that the previous relationship.
So he didn't come out and say that I was really upset because I thought Chris Rock was going to do a joke about my wife's infidelities, or not infidelities. I think they were sort of in an open-ish relationship at the time. I don't know. Wow, I'm speaking a lot out of school. But
it's called a vacuous perspective, and you're allowed to have it.
Yeah. The name's on the title.
Yeah. So he didn't. In my books, was it a good apology? How do you put that out of 10? Is it all done and dusted?
Vacuous.
Yeah, vacuous. Yeah, I was going to say it seemed a bit meaningless.
Yeah, and I don't think
an apology's got to go from the heart. It's got to come deep.
Yeah.
He did the superficial apology, the politician one. The politician apology. Yeah. It doesn't open him. It doesn't. Yeah, the press release
didn't speak from the heart. You know why? Because it's quite difficult.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be quite difficult to do. And he'd be thinking about, am I being sort of, is this good enough? Am I hurting enough for the public to let me back in so I can be in Men in Black 4?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time with these apologies, particularly from celebrities, it's just a box ticking exercise because the apology is going to the public at large. So it's got to be well crafted. It can't be too sincere or go too deep because some people will then take that somewhere. You know,
I think you've just hit the nail on the head though. He's doing a public apology for an act he committed against another person. That tells you all that you need to know about the situation, that he has 100%. To publicly address everyone and say what I did was wrong, instead of just like...
Should say, I'm really sorry for my actions. I've spoken with Chris. We've sorted it all out.
No. Forget that. That's your own bullshit. That's serving your own goals and purposes. Forget that. All that needs to happen is he makes the phone call. They actually, or apologizes directly to the person without telling the media that he's done it. Just deliver the apology, and then the ball really is in Chris Rock's court, because they're going to ask.
At some point, someone's going to ask Will, though. They're going to be like, and you just say, like, yeah, I called it.
I said sorry. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I tried to say sorry, and I haven't heard from him. If that's the truth, that's the answer, and it's fine. But publicly going, and it's almost like him. It's almost like a 4-minute video of him just saying, "Please let me be in movies again, everybody."
Yeah, is it worth me watching, or should I just stick to his?
Yeah, no, watch it. But
you can't trust an apology from an actor, right? Because they can act.
You can. Can
you?
Yeah,
how do you know they're being sincere? They're so good at acting.
Yeah, but you can't act as yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Nah.
He can act however he wants to act. Man, if he can pull off... I don't even know if he's like a character or Will Smith when he's acting. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who I'm dealing with. They're actors. Right. Actors are chameleons, and they should not be trusted.
Unless you're Nicolas Cage.
Okay, I'll trust him. He's the exception that makes the rule. Other than that, they shouldn't be trusted, and they should probably be exterminated while we still can. Because these actors could be working their way into the general populace, is what I'm saying. And you don't know when someone's an actor and when they're not an actor. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, after a while, we could be dealing with, you could be breeding with an actor. My fiance could be an actor. I don't know.
What? Yeah, really good actor.
Really good actor.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know who's writing the script. That's the problem. I need to find the script.
The public relations person who takes 10% of whatever he makes, right, is going,
Wills.
bro, I've done the apology letter. Yeah, Will's publicist is going, I've done the apology video format. We've got a couple of questions, couple that you wanted in, a couple that we wanted in.
And how
And
easy. Yeah.
And it's so he can get into Men in Black 5 or whatever it is up to, and, $1 million, couple $1 million, and then 10% boughts.
Can you imagine having a publicist? I could be Will Smith's publicist, though. If I call someone, I could go I could call anyone, anywhere, at any organisation, and say, "I'm Will Smith's publicist. I want to talk to the boss, and we'll make some arrangement."
This is a bit like your put the scam thing in the unsubscribe button. You're opening up a Pandora's box here for potential people, copycats, who will be just calling up saying that they're Will Smith's agent and wanted to chat dollary dues.
Well, how do you prove that? I'm wondering because
put Will on. No, I can't right now. He's busy.
No,
they wouldn't be able to prove it.
They wouldn't be able to prove it. It's not like they do know your client checks or anything when you're dealing with an actor's publicist, like you do in the legal sphere. You have to verify who you're dealing with sometimes.
Yeah. But just so we're clear, we're talking about prank calling people, right?
Yeah.
Right, and saying that you're Will Smith's publicist.
But what I'm saying, right?
Just to waste some time? Is that the overall goal? What do you want?
I want to make some arrangement, and then if I get a good arrangement, if I get some kind of thing where he appears and he's going to get some money, right? Then I call Will and I say, Will, look, I may have been pretending to be your publicist, but I've actually got you some good gigs.
Yeah. Are you coming down anytime soon?
Yeah, and I just want 10%. I just want 10%.
Yeah. That's exactly what you should do. I'll get in touch with Will, say, you didn't use all my advice, but good job anyway. I'll take $20. And I'll go, by the way, a friend of mine set up a few gigs for you. I assume by then you would have set up a few gigs for him.
Yeah. If I'm Will Smith's publicist, I think I can set up some gigs.
Yeah, no, we'll sort it out.
They might not be as high profile as he's used to. Like it's not got like, I don't know what he normally does.
I'm just saying regular stuff. Hit the first ball of the Australian Open. Do you like golf? We got a golf tournament at Wembley or something. I don't know.
Children's birthday parties.
Kids' birthday parties. That one's not paying as much as the other ones, but still get 10%.
It's a billionaire's child, though.
Oh, good.
They get special treatment.
Yeah, do the slap.
do this. Man, if I told, that's now we're talking. He should be monetizing that. He's made a huge mistake.
Right, WWE.
He could be getting a couple mil a slap.
Yeah. So what, rich people will pay to get slapped? Is that what you're saying?
Some people love that.
Right, some people love it.
Yeah, can you imagine copping one from Will Smith?
That would be epic. An Instagram moment to save forever.
Yeah. So you can have at any public event. So I'm trying to think of just something. I don't know. So say you got like you're doing some presentation for some industry event, right, at work. Yeah. You're at some property council event, and you're like the president of the property council, and you're going through the agenda or whatever, talking about what speakers are up next and what other events are going on. And then you've hired Will Smith. I don't know why you would do this, right? But this is to promote you. This is to make you big.
It's to make the event pop off.
It's going to go viral.
It's going to go viral.
And then you make a joke.
Yeah, you say the queue will be G.I. Jane. You can't see it.
Can I say something about alopecia? We know that you don't like that. That's kind of part of the joke, that you kind of get triggered. And he rumbles up looking all burly on stage. You stand there, you put your chin out, you hold your hands behind the back, just stand there like a man and just take it.
Like Chris Rock.
Just take it. Just don't brace yourself, hold your chin out so there's a landing pad.
Dude, best case scenario, you get knocked out. That's going to be the real winner. If he KOs you, then it's happening.
Boy, if you get knocked out by Will Smith,
that's it. That's what I'm saying.
You're a celebrity.
Exactly.
You become a celebrity. You're bigger than Chris Rock at that point.
Yeah. You know, you've paid him a little bit extra. You're saying this time, because you've been doing this a little while now, and people know that Will Smith's going to come out at the end of your presentation. You're on the road. You've been doing convention centers and stuff, but people know that Will Smith's going to probably come out at the end and slap you or whatever. So you go, pay him a little bit extra, and you say, this time, man, just fucking hell for leather. Just punch me. Just channel that Ali movie and that mentality and just knock me out.
Well, you're right about the WWE thing. Maybe he's setting himself up for like a post-career or, you know, kind of twilight of his career. He can just go up to Hulk Hogan before some big event and just give him one. Yep.
But
everyone's cheering. Everyone's like, you know, slap his face off.
Yeah, he's got a finishing move, and it's just a basic sort of slap to the face, but sort of pretends like a nuke just went off, and the whole crowd goes wild. Yeah, it'd be great. If you were doing the biopic movie, now we're doing the Will Smith movie, so it's based on a true story.
What's a biopic?
It's a movie about a person. So it's the Will Smith movie. You've got his son playing him. It's probably going to get released in like 2040 or something, right?
But Will Smith is Serena and the other one's father, right?
In the movie?
No, in real life. Right?
No?
I'm joking.
Yeah. But I was freaking out. Because I'm like, not only is he a shit-hot actor, he's actually a great tennis coach. Who figured?
I was like, man, he's so talented. He's like, he's
tennis coach,
people.
Men in Black.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's busy. But this is what I mean about where people, when they're actors, they can't be trusted. You don't know when they're so he does a biopic. You're telling me you do a biopic with him, and you're like, is this all just fucking horse shit?
Well, not the Oscars bit, because they've got video footage of it, so they'd have to recreate it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then they'll be filming the scene when he's doing his apology video, and they go, this movie is not very good. This movie about Will Smith's life is pretty boring.
This reminds me, actually, that
the third act with the apology video. Ooh.
The real apology.
Ooh.
No, did you hear about this? There's this French scientist that posted a picture of salami, and he said it was a James Webb Space Telescope image of a distant star, the closest star to Earth.
Yeah, this did cross my desk this week. Hilarious.
So good.
Can I see this salami picture?
Yeah, man. It's a piece of chorizo. It's a piece of like, chorizo.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, right? So
it's amazing.
He posted it. He said it was a picture of Proxima Centauri, the closest star to our sun.
Beautiful.
And if you just don't really, because we don't know what we're looking at. Like if you just look at that for a moment, you're like, maybe it is. Like maybe I don't know what a star looks like. I don't know what a close-up picture. I don't know what kind of image the James Webb Space Telescope produces of the closest star. So he wrote in the description, this level of detail, a new world is revealed every day. That was his tweet to 90,000 followers.
Amazing.
And so he admitted it's just a slice of Spanish chorizo sausage.
Yeah.
And he said he apologized for what he calls a scientist's joke. But what his point was is his aim was to remind people to be wary of arguments from people in positions of authority. Okay. Yeah, that's fair point. Fair point, right?
Yeah.
It's just a little reminder, a little bit of a joke. He posts, don't just take everything. Don't just eat it up. Don't just gobble it up, right? Yeah. And so he said he had to apologize for his prank. And I understand. I probably, I don't want everyone lying to me. I don't want everyone doing a Will Smith on me and just posting salamis.
Sure. But we should think of some other fruits and vegetables that we can cut up to make look like planets on a black backdrop.
We should.
Yeah. Cucumber, galaxy, I don't know. There'd be heaps.
The classic is the piece of cheese.
Yeah, we're just going to take a photo of a circular piece of cheese on a black background?
Or the moon's cheese.
Well, potentially. Can't land on
it. That. You know that. Don't pretend you don't know that. I send you a picture my brother took of the moon, right?
Oh, I didn't. I may have it. I don't know where it is.
It is so deluxe.
I did see that. Yes. Amazing.
It is really deluxe.
Very cool.
I hope you get the quality that I get it at.
I hope so too. We'll have to compare notes after the app and see if I'm getting the right sort of res on it, man.
Yeah.
I've just seen another one come through. Yep.
Yeah, he also took a picture.
Yeah, if I zoom in on it, it loses its detail a little bit, but it's still.
No, we can do better than that. It shouldn't be losing much detail. He laid in wait for hours to get a picture of this eagle. He was up north somewhere, and this eagle had taken up a position in this big it was a man-made structure. I don't know what it is, if it's like a TV tower or something. It has a nest up there, and it was bobbing about, and he was just waiting for it. And then he got the old sports shutter mode, that one, of it taking off. Beautiful. Amazing. 2 meter bird. Oh, I know about 2 meters.
Scary boy.
Like way bigger than a meter. So I'm going to go with 1.5.
Yeah. Wow.
Look glorious. He's right into photography. Hey, it's really good.
That's awesome. And night photography as well, by the sounds of it.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got the drones and all the other toys as well, right?
Yeah, he's got it all. He loves that stuff. He's like James Bond of photography.
Hell yeah. That's cool, man. You know what you should do? You should get him to take a great shot, and you should paint it in Bob Ross style.
Oh, I didn't send you the photo of my bloody Bob Ross. I'm supposed to do that.
It's flinging it up now.
I'll do that. We're getting close to the end of our segment. I had a thought the other day. We've only got 3 minutes, so this will only take one. Do you fart at the end of your piss?
Yeah, I know that this happens. I know people do it. I know people don't even mind doing it in public restrooms.
I try not to do that. Something is going on, because it is just not a coincidence.
Well, do you need a shit?
No.
So, because the fart, right, like a piss followed by a shit is pretty standard.
Yes, no, that is. But no, not that extreme.
So is it the force? What's happening here?
I don't know what's going on, but it's just it cannot be a coincidence. I'm not that flatulent. Right? So the chances of me needing to do a fart at the end of every time I piss it is seriously, it's 1 in a million.
Okay. And is this happening now? What do you mean? Is it just
not right now? No, it happens all the time.
Right, but this is not new.
No.
Okay, no,
I have not talked to a doctor about it.
It's happened to me, man. So if it makes you feel any better, I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. Not concerned about it yet. Maybe if you do fart at the end of your piss, you can just let us know at vacuousperspective.com.
Well, at mail.com. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. We haven't. That's why we don't get much mail.
No, we plug the email pretty much every episode, except for maybe the week before last, where we probably did it at the end, which didn't exist. But how do you feel about that? Because when I said to you the guy in the public, like in a workplace sort of office toilet situation, multiple cubicles.
Yeah.
The guy, let's say a guy in the cubicle next to you is having a bit of a rough time.
Yeah.
They're letting out all the farts,
all their grief,
all the fart bombs, the audibles. They're giving audibles. You know, they're doing the exerted grunt, or they're doing the relief sigh.
Laying a Hail Mary.
Yeah. So you obviously don't do that. You try to keep it all under wraps while you're in the presence of other people.
When I'm standing at the urinal, I try and keep my poos in my bottom.
Keep your farts in. Yeah.
No, this is the thing. The fart just comes out at the end of the,
so
the end of the piss. It's nothing.
Even in that environment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I try and keep it. Man, there was a bloke that did a mushroom and gorgonzola fart in his office, and I had to go in there to talk to him about something. I don't know if I called him by surprise or if it was halfway through. I don't know what it was. I just had to pretend that there wasn't a dead raccoon in his pants. And when you just have to, you're just like, well, I can't. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, he knows. It's probably like a power move. Yeah, it's probably some kind of power move. He knows. He's like, this guy, this poor bloke.
He's probably embarrassed, more likely.
Yeah, he probably is. But you're like, do I leave to save him the shame, or do I just pretend it never happened?
Yeah, and just keep going as per normal. Yeah, it's a tough one.
It was
depending on how well I know someone. Like if I dropped a fart and then someone walked over towards my area, you know, if I was just off, I don't know, somewhere, I would probably tell them, hey man, it's the hang 10.
So, but I don't know if I'm going to get a bad rep in the office. If someone say I do a little sneaky, I just, you know, one comes out, I know it's not great, right? And so say I've got like an office with a door I can close, and then I can see someone walking, sauntering towards my office.
Yeah, approach the door.
Do I hop up? Do I hop up?
Yeah,
I jump out of the office, close the door, and I say, you don't want to go in there. Or we should.
No. You just meet them at the door, right? Leave what you can behind at the desk.
Am I just dragging?
Yeah, you're gonna bring some. You're gonna bring some over, and you're gonna say at the door, you're gonna be like, "Hey, how's it going? What's up? What's happening?" And you just try and stop them there.
So I don't say anything. I don't say.
If they come into the room, then you have to acknowledge. You have to go full Will Smith and acknowledge it.
Actually, apologize for what I did.
You got to apologize to their family, to your family, to their mothers,
their children.
Importantly, yeah, and be sincere, because people don't like it when you're not sincere.
Let that be.
We'll be back next week with tips.
Cheers, man.
Oh, good luck with your ride.
Thanks. I need it.
I'm excited.
Terrified. I'll have some stories for you. I'm going to the grotto.
Yeah, so it's locked in. You're going to the grotto.
I'm going to the grotto for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Well, I'll definitely want to hear all about it. I'll see you next time.
See ya.